gotta say, this thing so far makes me very happy. The performance of it, brightness wise, adjustability wise, ergonomics, I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan. If it holds 0, this could be the answer to all of our prayers. A laser that doesn't cost more than some people's cars with the performance that people want. You look at Holosun lasers and you're like, oh yeah, those are pretty affordable, you know, especially for civilian power. That's why I bought 2 of them when I first got into night vision. I'm like, you know, I could buy a civilian PEC 15. They were like $1,600, or a D-Ball A3. They're like $1,300 for the same performance that you get out of a Holosun. So I went with the Holosun. The Holosun costs almost 4 times as much as this. And the Holosun was the budget option when I got into night vision. This thing is gonna disrupt the market and change the market. The major companies, they're not gonna change their prices. Of course they're not. But anyone else who doesn't have military contracts, they're gonna have to step in line with this. I was only aiming with the SMS HFXC. Last target's about 100 yards. I just got it zeroed and you can see the lighting. I'm using green vis and I just see it clear as day. This setup, look at this. The HFXC sets low enough on the rail. This is like a lower 1/3 for the RMR and it's not blocking it in any way. So gone through, this will be about 75 rounds with the HFXC on here. Again, just using the green vis. Keep in mind, that's a 100-yard shot with a green vis laser. I'm out here testing the SMS HFXC. I'm gonna be doing some night vision stuff later when it gets dark. I did a parallel 0 on it. It wasn't exactly right, you know, out of the box, so I did have to adjust it. Should be perfect for the parallel 0. I'm at about 120 rounds right now. I'll have to check my notes. So far, everything's on, but I wouldn't be hitting steel at 100 if it was off already. So anyways, let's do some work. All right, so I'm gonna do a comparison. This is a white light on the HFXC. I have some targets at about 60 yards and then a steel target down there at 100. So here's the 60, there's the 100, 60, 100. Comparing that to a Streamlight ProTac HLX, which would be the 1000 lumen, don't remember the candela. Tried to do a side-by-side. So the ProTac's gonna be on the left, HFXC on the right. HFXC, ProTac, Streamlight. The HFXC definitely has a better hotspot. So let's go white light and vis laser. If it's shifting as much as a lot of the other cheaper lasers on the market do, I won't be able to hit 100. This is also a 9mm direct blowback. This thing has some recoil to it, so. We shot approximately 160, 170 rounds, and so far, from what I can tell, there is zero shift. Meaning the recoil of this direct blowback at 9 is not making the laser fall off track anywhere that I can tell. Now, I probably can't do a good job of reconfirming 0 tonight under nods, but next time I come out, I will reconfirm 0. I have a picture taken of the target, how it looked after it was zeroed, so we're good there. A couple things I really like about the HFXC. The power. I mean, we're not even gonna lie. I'm gonna splice in some comparisons between this, a full power PEC 15, not a Somo gear, an actual L3 full power PEC 15, a D-Ball A2 full power, and I have a Holosun LS321G for the civilian power testing. Tonight we have 0 photonic barriers. It is overcast, there's no moon. You're gonna get a really good representation, and I mean, it is pitch black out. You can probably tell just by the white phosphor looking a little fuzzy. Without further ado, I will get to showing what the laser and illuminator looks like. Anyways, here we have the civilian Holosun. It's at about 60, it's at about 100, and then that tree at 125. Past that, you see our illuminators kind of starts to die. Like once we get too far out here, it's gone. Here's the HFXC at 60, 100, and she just keeps going. Top of the tree line. Full power D-Ball A2, 60, 100, 125. Full power PEC 15, 60, 100, 125-ish. Okay, we still have plenty of illuminator. For side-by-side comparisons, Holosun on the right, HFXC on the left. This is about 60. There's a 100-yard target you can barely see. This is overpowering on the camera. On my nods, it looks perfect. I mean, crystal clear. I can make out the outline. But it is definitely overpowered on the camera by far. But anyways, yeah, Holosun. And actually, let me try to power this down. The HFXC, because, you know, we got that. So HFXC on the lower setting, thing is still a tank. On the lowest setting for the super bright mode and Holosun. D-Ball A2 on the right, full power. HFXC on the left. And this is, remember, at the lowest setting for the super bright mode. They're pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to realign my illuminator, but I mean, look at that. That's not that bad. And then we can go, oh, sorry, bud, I'm brighter. I'm really brighter now. Anyways, HFXC on the left, A2 on the right. Full power PEC 15. It's on high, obviously. HFXC. Full power PEC 15, HFXC. Power up and down on the HFXC, I have it set on not the way it ships. This will be the secret high power mode that you'll have to figure out how to change it to. Just kidding, they give you instructions on how to do it. I'm not doing anything on the lowest, this is how it ships setting. This is on the high power mode, but the power up, power down, like, that is pretty bright. With just a press of the button, I can go down to that dim if I need to. Press another button, we're back up. The wheel on the side, we can easily up, 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 still going up, and that's as far as it floods. Look at that view. Look at that view. To compare, this thing literally blows all of them out of the water. I'm not even joking. I mean, we can take out the hollow sun because that's not even fair. Like, you can't see past 50 with the illuminator on a civilian laser. It's just, it's not there. You'd have to have a really dark night, kind of like tonight, to get any usefulness out of it at 100. That's what I ran for a long time before I got my first full powers, and yeah, it was very anemic. So that's what makes everyone want to shift to getting a full power laser. The problem with full power lasers is the FDA doesn't like us normal people. It's not like Steiner or L3 can just be like, oh yeah, here you go, here's a full power laser. Nope. So us peasants have to go on the gray market and find ones that have been decommissioned by military or law enforcement agencies, have a laser, they go with a new laser, so they sell their old ones. That's why both of my full powers are well over 10 years old. Police agencies get rid of them, people buy them up, sell them on the used market. Full power lasers go from anywhere between, like if you want an A2, 13, 1400, 1500 on the high side. And with PEC 15s, they go anywhere between 1500 and 2200, depending on how good they are, how new they are, that kind of thing. Most people shy away after they buy night vision, because night vision in itself is super expensive to get into. Most people shy away initially at lasers because they've been told civilian lasers are basically useless, which they are pretty useless, I'm not gonna lie. They're usable if you're just gonna do up close stuff, not gonna have very many photonic barriers, that kind of thing. Just not for any realistic type shooting that people wanna do with knots. That's where we venture into the full power lasers, and the full power lasers have their ups and their downs. If you get a perfectly brand new unit, I'm sure the illuminators are awesome, but both of mine, they're not bad illuminators, but they do have some little petri dish effects going on with them because they're like 10, 12 years old. This HFXC has literally perfectly clear illuminator, way brighter, in my opinion, than the A2, a tad bit brighter than the full power PEC 15. Now, some of the things I really like about this laser, ergonomically, at least on this PCC setup, when I wrap my hand around it, the button is right there. This thing does not stick up very high, so it's pretty low profile on the rail. So with a lower 1/3 mount, your optic will clear it, no problem. I haven't used the crane plugs because I'm really not a pressure switch person. I will test that out to make sure it works, but I haven't used it yet. Like I said, the button's in a really nice spot. Even if you got to power up, power down, those two buttons up here for your power up and power down, easily reachable if you had to. The switch is firm but tactile. It's not a loose switch. That's a good thing because you don't want it to be bumped by accident. Something that this laser doesn't have, which I really wish it did, was the ability to have a full power high max setting illuminator and then dial down your laser. Now it does have a feature to where whatever power setting you leave it on, when you switch away from it, turn it off, turn it back on, it'll go back to that power setting. So I feel like they could easily do that in a new laser, which I think they said they've had so many requests for that feature, like get rid of the strobe and have a user programmable feature where you can dictate how bright you want the laser and the illuminator and then have them run at the same time. I think they're probably going to do that on the next run of lasers or the next model because everyone is saying that's what we want, and that is what you want. If you shoot a lot of night vision, you know, up close full power laser, it's gonna bloom. It's gonna be pretty bright. little bit hard to see your target when you're up super close. You can train past that. I'm not the type of person who says full power laser is completely unusable. It's not. You can use it just fine. You just have to train to it. It's gonna be pretty bright, pretty distracting. You just train to it. It's like shooting with your red dot when it's up too high. Like, yeah, it sucks, but you can still hit your target. So as it stands, my initial impressions are, this laser is amazing. Amazing. I'm not just saying that, it's literally amazing. The features on it, I really dig them. There's some things that I would want changed, but very usable laser. Same features you're gonna get on any other laser, plus a lot more, like the power up, power down. You don't usually get that. The wheel to adjust how big or small the illuminator gets, super easy to use. It's not like you're having to reach up top, turn something. It's literally just a wheel on the side. So while you're already on there, you can just reach up and spin that wheel. Super, super easy. I like that it sets super low. I mean, it's not like a mall, or it's not like the 3EIR, DIR, whatever, the one the US Night Vision sells. It's not that low, but it's lower than a Hollow Sun. It's lower than pretty much any other. It's probably the same as PEC 15 actually. Probably about the same. Anything with like that cross bolt mount, they set pretty low. Anything with a QD is going to set up higher. The thing is awesome. Performs super well. I honestly at this point don't have anything bad to say about it. This is my initial review, initial impressions video. I put 347 rounds to be exact. 350 rounds on it. So all I know is it still holds 0 from when I zeroed it. Everybody's probably gonna be like, oh yeah, well, that's not very many rounds. I have 500 on my AR or whatever. I'm gonna put it this way. When I shoot 300 rounds a day on my Mark 18 or any other gun, I don't have a bruise on my shoulder. This gun with this brace is unpleasant to shoot, high round count. Thing is thumping. It is rocking this laser more than any AR-15 in 5.56. More than any AR-15 in 300 blackout, unless you're shooting some like super spicy supersonic loads. This thing is recoiling harder. My plan is to do at least 500 rounds on this, reconfirm 0, and then maybe switch it to another gun. But who knows? My plan is 500. I could go more than that. I could go like 1,000. Either way, 350 rounds, first range day with it, range night. It's holding up perfectly well. This has been the SMS Laser HFXC first impressions video.